Ever wondered how to make a pineapple blueberry shortcake fantasy? Welcome to the realm of tantalizing flavors, where tropical pineapple meets sweet blueberries in a symphony of taste. This isn't just a dessert, it's a culinary experience, a journey of flavor that takes your taste buds on an adventure they won't soon forget. In this video, we're delving into the art of dessert making. We'll be exploring the unique combination of sweet, tangy pineapple and ripe, juicy blueberries, merged with the soft, crumbly texture of shortcake to create a dessert that's as visually appealing as it is delicious. As we venture through the process, you'll gain an understanding of how these diverse flavors can harmoniously blend together, creating a dessert that's more than the sum of its parts. By the end, you'll have all the knowledge you need to replicate this dessert in your own kitchen. So are you ready to embark on this culinary adventure? Stay tuned to learn how to create this delicious dessert from scratch. The first step in creating a pineapple blueberry shortcake fantasy is gathering all the necessary ingredients. Let's start with our stars, ripe pineapples and fresh blueberries. Their vibrant colors and sweet, tangy flavors make this dessert an absolute treat. Next, we have the shortcake components. You'll need all-purpose flour, granulated sugar, baking powder, and a pinch of salt. The secret to a light and tender shortcake is using cold, unsalted butter. It creates pockets of steam as it melts in the oven, giving our shortcake that desirable flaky texture. For our creamy element, we're using heavy cream and pure vanilla extract. The cream is whipped to soft peaks, and the vanilla lends a warm, comforting flavor that ties everything together beautifully. Don't forget, the quality of your ingredients plays a significant role in the final outcome. Fresh fruits and quality baking materials can truly elevate your pineapple blueberry shortcake fantasy. Now that we have our ingredients ready, it's time to start baking. The foundation of our dessert is the shortcake. A good shortcake makes or breaks a dessert, and today we're aiming for nothing short of perfection. Let's dive straight into it. We start by preparing the dry ingredients. In a large bowl, mix together 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Whisk these together until they're well combined. This blend will give our shortcake its structure and a subtle sweetness. Now let's move on to the wet ingredients. In a separate bowl, combine 1 cup of whole milk, 1 large egg, and 1/2 cup of melted unsalted butter. Beat these together to create a smooth, creamy mixture. The butter will give our shortcake a rich flavor, while the milk and egg will make it moist and tender. It's time to bring these two worlds together. Slowly pour the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients, mixing gently as you go. Remember, the key here is not to overmix. We want to keep our shortcake light and fluffy. Once the batter is just combined, it's ready to go into the oven. Before we do that, let's prepare our baking pan. Lightly grease it with butter, then dust it with a thin layer of flour. This will prevent the shortcake from sticking. Now pour the batter into the pan, smoothing it out with a spatula to create an even layer. Place the pan in a preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Allow it to bake for about 20 to 25 minutes, or until it's golden brown and a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean. As the shortcake bakes, it fills the kitchen with a mouth-watering aroma. The sweet scent of baked goods with a hint of butter and sugar is simply irresistible. Once it's done baking, remove it from the oven and let it cool. The shortcake should be tender, moist, and ready to soak up the fruity goodness of our pineapple and blueberry filling. With our shortcake ready, it's time to prepare the fruit filling. The heart of our dessert is the pineapple and blueberry filling. It's a symphony of sweet and tangy flavors that will make our shortcake shine. Let's dive right into the steps to prepare this fruity delight. First, gather your fresh blueberries and pineapple. Make sure to choose ripe, sweet fruits for the best result. Now chop up your pineapple into small, bite-sized chunks. Don't worry about the blueberries, they're perfect just the way they are. Next, it's time to heat things up. Grab a medium-sized saucepan, add your fruits, and sprinkle in some sugar. The sugar will draw out the juices from the fruits, creating a syrupy concoction that's pure heaven. Stir the mixture gently on medium heat until the sugar dissolves. Now here's the secret to our filling. We're going to cook it just long enough to let the fruits soften and the flavors meld together, but not so long that they lose their individual identities. The blueberries should burst to release their sweet juice, and the pineapple should retain a slight bite for that delightful texture. Once your fruits have cooked down into a thick, glossy filling, it's time to let it cool. The cooling process is crucial. It allows the filling to thicken further and the flavors to intensify. So be patient and let it rest. Remember, the beauty of this filling lies in its simplicity. The natural sweetness of the pineapple, the tartness of the blueberries, and the hint of sugar all come together to create a filling that's not just delicious, but also vibrant and colorful. It's the heart of our pineapple blueberry shortcake fantasy. And there you have it, a fruit filling that's as delightful to make as it is to eat. It's a burst of summer in every bite, guaranteed to take your dessert from ordinary to extraordinary. Now that our fruit filling is ready, we're almost at the finish line. Stay tuned, as we're just a few steps away from the grand assembly and the final reveal of our pineapple blueberry shortcake fantasy. Finally, it's time to bring all our elements together and create our pineapple blueberry shortcake fantasy. We're at the most exciting phase, assembly. It's here that our shortcake transforms into a dessert fantasy. First, let's start with a layer of our beautifully baked shortcake, crumbly, golden, and just waiting to be dressed up. On top of this, we'll spoon a generous helping of our tantalizing fruit filling. The vibrant colors of pineapple and blueberry, their sweet and tangy flavors merging, it's a sensory delight. Now, who could forget the whipped cream? Let's add a fluffy cloud of it right on top of our fruit. It's light, it's creamy, and it's the perfect complement to our fruit filling. And there you have it. Repeat these layers until your dessert is as tall as your dessert dreams. Our pineapple blueberry shortcake fantasy is now ready to be enjoyed. Let's have a quick recap of the recipe. We embarked on a culinary adventure to create the pineapple blueberry shortcake fantasy. The journey began with gathering our ingredients, fresh pineapples and blueberries, flour, butter and sugar, among others. We then moved on to preparing our shortcake, where the magic of mixing and baking transformed these ingredients into a deliciously golden base. Next, we prepared the fruit filling, letting the pineapple and blueberries simmer in their own juices, creating a sweet and tangy fusion that makes this dessert truly stand out. The final step was assembling the dessert, layering the shortcake, fruit filling, and a generous dollop of whipped cream. The result? A dessert that's a symphony of flavors and textures. Feel free to experiment with the recipe, perhaps by adding your favorite fruits or spices. It's all about making the dessert your own. Remember, the best part of cooking is the joy it brings. Enjoy your pineapple blueberry shortcake fantasy.